moment to the issue of energy. One of the places where I think Donald Trump hit it out of the ballpark in the election was bringing up the impact that the previous administration had on the coal industry. It won him a lot of votes in Appalachia. I can tell you that. I have a lot of relatives who live there, particularly in the state of Kentucky and some places in West Virginia, over here in southern Illinois, where our own Peabody Coal Company has had to declare bankruptcy because of what the last administration was going through. Now we're hoping they can see a bit of a turnaround. Mike Tobin from the Fox News Channel is reporting on this story today, live from Hazard, Kentucky right now. Mike, how are you?
Good, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for joining us. I have to tell you, it's funny when I saw your name on the sheet today, being in Hazard. My mother grew up about 30 miles from there, so I know this region pretty well, and I know how long they've suffered with the ups and downs in the coal industry.
And it's tough for them, and they all knew very clearly because the previous president made no bones about it. He said he was going to put coal miners out of business, and he was going to change the nation over and get us away from burning coal and power plants. And he largely left an indelible mark. The coal is making a comeback now, in large part due to optimism. But you've got a lot of these power plants that retrofitted with natural gas. And now they have to compete with all the cheap fossil fuel that comes out of fracking. So they're bouncing back, but they'll never bounce back to where they were.
Oh, I'm sure they won't, because aren't there different grades of coal? I mean, aren't some of these coal burning power plants now they only accept certain types of coal? Is that true?
That is true. They'll burn coal that's cleaner. You also have what we're seeing a boon in here in Hazard, particularly what they call the E41 mine that just reopened. They're mining metallurgical coal. So the coal you use to make metal is of higher quality, and that's what they're getting out of Appalachia. And then you have to get into all the kind of different things that happen with the China market, with the Australia market, all the different factors that go into the price of coal. But the price of coal got better, and they got a friendly partner in the White House, and they're reopening mines.
Yeah, I know. With the oil, for example, it's driven a lot not only by demand, but the price per barrel, which means that in the shale areas, sometimes it's not cost effective to draw it out of the ground. But like you're mentioning, for these folks in Appalachia, for many years, many of my relatives, the livelihood depended on coal or driving trucks, hauling coal. That's a whole different ballgame. Do they have any realistic hopes that this is going to make enough of a comeback to have an impact on the economy there?
You know, one of the conversations I had yesterday was with a little lady named Carla who works at the barber shop at the center of town. And she said right away when these guys started getting laid off, they stopped getting their hair cut. Wow. So that impacts everybody, and that's to the point of the story that you were telling before. But for the most part, they all know that the heyday of coal is over. You lost some 38,000 jobs during the Obama years nationwide from coal. This particular mine that I'm at, they laid off 460 guys. They've hired back 90. So you got to keep that in perspective. Tens of thousands of people laid off nationwide. The hire backs or the new hires are in the hundreds.
Wow. Yeah, the impact is real, and I know people here in Southern Illinois have felt some of the same pinch. Listen, Mike Tobin, I appreciate your time from the Fox News Channel. Do me a favor, get a good plate of biscuits and gravy while you're down there in Hazard for me, would you?
And then I'll get an angioplasty.
Right after, exactly.
Right
Mike, have a great day.
Thank
all
you.
right, thank you. Yeah, we'll all be having one of those one of these days who grew up eating biscuits and gravy. So sorry. I know it's not just an Appalachia thing, but that was my favorite meal that my grandma used to cook. Love that. Can I just tell you that? Makes my mouth water just thinking about it, and makes my arteries harden up.
I was
so
say,
that's
you're making
okay.
me so hungry over here.
A little bit of a little bit of bacon grease or sausage grease. Sausage gravy is the best.
Everything. I want all of that.
See, now making your mouth water too.
Yes.
That's kind of how that goes. That's good. I like that. You know, one thing that he touched on there that has kind of been lost here is that the coal industry just like the oil industry has suffered a little bit because people were using more natural gas and things like that to heat. But part of the regulations that this president is hopefully going to bring some common sense to, that Scott Pruitt at the EPA is hopefully going to bring some common sense to, that's going to help. It's not ever going to return the coal industry to its glory days. I understand that. But some of these ridiculous regulations that were put on coal-burning power plants is the reason that the job loss was so great. Remember the stories from right here in southern Illinois when Ameren and some of the other companies had to shut down plants because it just wasn't cost-effective to upgrade them. They would have had to spend so much money to upgrade them. They just ended up shutting them down, which was music to the ears of the Obama administration. And what a shame. When a administration goes into office with the stated goal of seeing your utility bill go up each month, how does that help you? Explain that to me. It doesn't help you. So this is just another offshoot of that. And when I saw Mike's name on there, I wanted to kind of bring that story up today and let people know that there's some hope, but hopefully there are some other options for some of these folks who've worked in the coal industry, because it will never be what it once was. It's just not going to happen. I know that. I want to